Hey, it's Chaz, and welcome to this quick training video where I'm going to talk to you about how I do local keyword research and my local keyword strategy. And what I'm looking for is this final result of local and near me terms sorted by search volume. And, this final list is the ones that I hand select. But back here, I also have this really big list to select from. So even though I come up with about 20 or 25 initial keywords to work on, as the campaign progresses, there's lots of additional keywords. Now, obviously, there's a lot of zero search click keywords, but in local, those are still valuable. I like to mix them in as I also go after the high and mid comp terms. So I go after a few high comp. I usually pick the first, 3 or 4 highest search volume terms, and they typically tend to be near me terms. And then I'll try to find the city specific terms or the location specific terms, our local terms, if you will. And I start with our highest search volume there. I pick a select few of those. Now, when I pick this initial list, I'm trying to pick terms that are similar and not very, very far off subtopics. So these are all kind of cleaning and house cleaning and residential cleaning. Even maid services typically residential. And if you see here, I'm kind of staying on that residential theme, with maybe one exception down here on some of this. These are all residential. Down here, I get a very low comp office cleaning term I'm going to target. But all the other terms I'm targeting are kind of within that residential subtopic, if you will. And then I can vary that by month or by quarter, depending on progress and competition level. But I'm looking to get this master list sorted by search volume. That includes not only base terms or top level keywords, but also top level near me, and then locally optimized terms as well. Now, how do I get this list? Let's look at that quick. So I start with something called my base, a base list of keywords, my base keywords, right? Now I have my base keywords from my time at Web20 when we ran, literally thousands of GMB campaigns every year. We went in and actually identified the keywords for basically all local niches, right? And that's my base list. If you don't have something like this, you can simply ask ChatGPT for, here's my main service. Suggest to me the top 30 related search terms that are closely related, and try to sort them by estimated search volume or popularity. And they should give you a list that's similar to this. You can take it. So once you have this list, I take it into my little handy dandy workbook here, stick it in the base keywords. This is my local keyword generator, which basically, but you put your base keywords in, you put your target city, target state, Alberta, and then near me. Then it automatically takes every base keyword and then gives you every variation possible of each term. So you get every single variation possible. And what it comes out with is a list something like this. It's a really, really big list. All right. And it actually stuck a near me in there. We don't need that, but whatever. Take this really big list of terms, and then I throw this in. I like to use keywords everywhere because it gives me my search volume for everything. So let's just go do that really quick. I do bulk keywords data. Here's my combined list. Now, some of these aren't right, so I won't even use those. But I take that combined list that this little tool generates. I'm going to drop in keywords everywhere. Before I move on, if you don't have a copy of this notebook, I will make it available to you if I release this training. I will make sure you get a copy. But there's also a cool site that helps you do the exact same thing this workbook does. It's called 5-Minute Sites. I just search 5-Minute Sites keyword generator tool, and you're going to find this. Generate local AdWords and keyword lists. And this does a really good job of the same thing. You have to just play around with these settings. I don't have time to run through this in this training, but it's self-explanatory. But at the end, it does produce the same result as my notebook does. Gives you a big list. Take that list, drop it into the keywords everywhere tool, get metrics. So I export this. You can export it as Excel or CVS. You really only need to copy the first 3 rows of this. You don't need any of this. You don't need to worry about competition. Get this in here, paste it in. And what you're going to do here is this is where you hand select the terms you're really going to work on, right? I typically work on, you can see here initially about 20 some terms. And a lot of these are very similar. So if I'm going to work on Edmonton cleaning services, I'm also going to work on cleaning services Edmonton, right? So that's why I use 25 there, but that's what I use. And I make sure they're, like I said, subtopically relevant, if you will. You can break your niche keyword list into subtopics using ChatGPT. It's really good if you have trouble doing that. Otherwise, you just kind of say, okay, I'm going to try to rank this subtopic first, and then I'll move on to the next subtopic, right? You don't want to split your resources too far. You dilute your efforts. So I wouldn't want to probably rank for maid services, commercial cleaning, office cleaning, and maybe Airbnb cleaning all at once. I think if it's a low comp market, sure, but I think any decent sized city, you kind of select what you're going to do. So in my first case, I'm going to establish my residential presence, the house cleaning, home cleaning, maid service, and residential cleaning service terms. I'm going to establish those first. I'm going to make a good foundation there. And then I'll work on some of those specialized services, deep cleaning, echo cleaning, one-time cleaning, all those long-tail specialized terms. And then bigger subtopics like commercial, they'll probably get their own phase, maybe a quarter or 2 devoted just for those. There's all types of commercial cleaning, restaurant cleaning, etc. So we can really expand on this. This is how I get that initial list. Simple as that. And then, like I said, I'm always collecting. I'm going by, high comp, mid comp, lower comp terms, if that makes sense, right? And I split that. I don't want to try for all high comp terms. These are going to take a while. You get started first on the big ones, hit those middle ones because they come quicker. And then these long tails should be easy money as well, right? And then as you get these long tails and you got good rankings for those, swap them out for some more mid and long tails. Remove these from your target list, swap them out manually, if you will, or back here in your sorted data list if you have a workbook like this. And that's your base keywords. That's how you do local keyword research very, very easily. If you run into a niche where you're kind of unfamiliar with, leverage ChatGPT. It does a really, really great job of keyword research. If you work locally with a bunch of related industries, I would recommend making a keyword list like this, a master keyword sheet by niche. It comes in so handy. And this data really doesn't change that much if you just use the top level terms. And then when you add city terms to them, typically they are actually also in that order too, as into, obviously this is a lot less search volume on city terms, but the city terms kind of rank like this as well, right? Cleaning services near the top, maids somewhere down here, and then the more specialized stuff is a lot less search volume. So hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if there's any questions about doing very fast but efficient and effective keyword research and selecting and setting up a keyword strategy that's designed to, 1, it gets your clients fast rankings, 2, it establishes that foundation to hit the top on those major keywords while not throwing your entire budget into them and not really getting anywhere for months and months. You're going to get progress early on with this strategy. That boost of traffic that you get to the GBP listing for ranking for these will also help propel you for stronger and stronger keywords too. That's why I always like to incorporate long tail, buyer intent, use keyword golden ratio if you have to. Those type of strategies work really well because not only do they give you quick wins for your client, they generate sales and calls for them as well, but they also help make it easier to rank for those big search volume terms by getting you traffic and engagement naturally and organically without having to do CTR manipulation, right? So this is an easy way to do CTR manipulation as well. if you structure your initial strategy like this, where about a third of my effort on this quarter is going to go to long tail and low search volume keywords, and it's not. And a lot of times I can swap these out in as a matter of a few weeks. I'll get these terms and I can swap them out. So within a quarter, I might be able to capture 2 times this amount of long tail terms. So hopefully that makes sense why we include some of those and how this strategy is designed to propel fast rankings naturally, even with some CTR manipulation that's white hat, if you will.